Hello and welcome to Chesapeake Weekly Home Edition. Well, we are officially back into phase 3 for COVID-19. Governor Ralph Northam announced that late last week. So we're in phase 3. The details of that we've linked to on our website, cityofchesapeake.net/COVID-19. You can see that entire executive order. In general, for your day-to-day life, it's not going to make a huge difference for most people. You still got to be wearing those masks, staying socially distant, washing your hands constantly, and if you feel sick, you got to stay home. So all of that stays the same. There are a few more differences now that we're in phase 3. Find all those details at cityofchesapeake.net/COVID-19. Well, we had a recent episode of the Mayor's Emergency Response Roundtable. Dr. Welch joined Mayor West, and she was able to speak a bit more about trends and how in public health it's about so much more than just the numbers. It was a really valuable conversation, so we pulled a part of that for you here. Take a look.
And we cannot have a myopic view. Public health and epidemiology is about the story. It's about following the trend. It's about the narrative. And that means that we have to have the complete picture, and it has to be over time. So, for example, as this shows, and you look at this next slide, this is per 100,000, and if you do the next slide too, Heath, this is a weekly incidence rate per 100,000. So it's just like what we mentioned on the daily rate. You only have to be reporting the positives, and it's mathematically made every locality like 100,000 population. And I would think you don't have to be a mathematician, epidemiologist, public health. You can be any field, and you see that's a good downward trend.
There's so much good stuff in that episode. You can watch the entire thing. It's youtube.com/Chesapeake Television. And before we leave that one, I wanted to pull out this other clip from Mayor West. He had a great analogy to explain the percent positivity and what all goes into that, and
I'm so proud of
why how he can make sense out of it is really interesting. So calling all baseball fans, listen up. Mayor Rick West has got you with a COVID-19 explanation. Take a look.
I go back to my sporting days of you think about the at-bat. A baseball player is rated by his hitting percentage. So if you only counted the times you got a hit and didn't add the times you struck out, you would get a high batting average, all right? And so from a sports standpoint, you want to count the number of times that you actually struck out and got a hit in order to get a correct batting average. So
it's great. Anytime we can better understand what all of this is about is so helpful. So again, find the rest of that episode at youtube.com/Chesapeake Television. Mayor West also spoke with Reese Jackson from Chesapeake Regional Healthcare, so lots of good stuff in that episode. Well, Chesapeake Public Schools have been back at the books, or probably should say back at the keyboard, for some time now. And this week there are select groups of kids actually physically going back into the building. It's for special education and English language learners. But before the end of the month, we could see first, second, and third graders headed back into the buildings. Now, of course, that does not count families who have chosen to stick with virtual learning for this semester, but still it will mean some little bodies in buildings. So that's the latest from Chesapeake Public Schools. Stay up to date with them at cpschools.com. They also post a lot of valuable information on their social medias. They've got Facebook and Twitter. Both of them are CP Schools VA. And as we know, school is about so much more than test results and homework. For so many kids, it's where they get their food. And the Chesapeake Public Schools Nutrition Services really did an incredible job throughout all of this, making sure that our kids continued to eat even when they weren't coming into school buildings. And they're continuing to do that today. So Chesapeake Television's Karen Myers sat down to speak with Larry Wade, who heads up the Nutrition Services Division for Chesapeake Public Schools, to talk about how they've continued to serve the kids in our community. Take a look.
Back in March, on March the 13th, we pivoted from providing the National School Lunch and Breakfast programs to now being in a pandemic mode feeding for the month of March all the way through the middle of August. Mm-hmm. August 16th was our last day of serving meals under the pandemic concept. However, during that time, we fed meals, provided meals 3 days a week in the beginning. We served meals 3 days, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And then after we got started, we transitioned to providing meals instead of just for 5 days. We were providing breakfast and lunch 7 days a week. And we were providing meals out of a central kitchen concept. We had 2 schools, Greenbrier Middle School and Oscar Smith High School, that served as central kitchens. We prepared meals in those locations, packed them up, put them on school buses, and drove them around to 16 different sites around the city of Chesapeake. I'm happy to announce that from the time we started back in March until mid-August, we served over 292,000 meals to students. Now that school is preparing to start up again, beginning on September 8th, actually, we will be providing meals from all 45 schools. We will open up all of our kitchens, all of our staff will return, and we'll be providing meals to parents for pickup.
Okay.
Meals are able to be picked up on Mondays and Wednesdays from 3:30 to 5:30, and they can pick those meals up near the bus ramp at every single school during that time. We're excited about the option to provide healthy and nutritious meals to parents and for their students, and we look forward to the opportunity to provide that service.
Larry and all his coworkers are literally heroes among us. So thank you so much to all of them for keeping our kids fed. They are a perfect example of why Chesapeake really is the city that cares. Well, a truly enlightening event is coming to City Hall this weekend. Mayor Rick West and the Chesapeake City Council are proudly supporting the American Cancer Society Luminaria Drive display throughout the City Hall grounds. It'll take place on Sunday, September 20th at 7:30 p.m. The lanterns will be lit in honor of people in our lives who are facing or have faced cancer. Now, you can participate by purchasing a Luminaria bag for $10 in the lobby of City Hall during lunchtime hours when a member of the American Cancer Society will be available. If you have any questions, contact the city clerk at 382-6151. Tidewater Community College is such an important part of our community, and what affects us as Chesapeake affects TCC. And so they are taking on some social justice issues and really expressing themselves how they know best, which is through art. Take a look.
TCC is committed to social justice, and the Arts and Humanities Department responded with these series of initiatives. And what it is, it's the series of visual arts, music, theatrical response to this. And what it does, it's events that explores inequality, social justice, empowerment. It's for the students of TCC, but more importantly, it's also for the community, because without the community, we don't have a community college. And we want to make sure that we're helping the needs of the community through these initiatives. And we want the community to come out and help explore and help talk about these diverse topics. And we want this, we're not going to be able to solve everything, but what we'll be able to do is have the conversation keep going or start new conversations, because it's changing every day. And we want conversations to keep going, and we don't want just to die off when the pandemic ends, or something else comes up. We want this to keep going because it's very prevalent in the community, and it's on the thoughts of our students as well. It affects the students.
So some unfortunate news. The September Chesapeake Recycles Day event has been canceled. I know a lot of people were looking forward to that. This was the one that was going to be held in Western Branch. There are still 2 more events scheduled throughout 2020. The one in October on the 24th at Greenbrier Mall, and then the last one at Tidewater Community College on November 14th, both from 9 a.m. to noon. Keep some tabs on the event website, just in case those end up getting canceled as well. You can find that as well as more information on the events at cityofchesapeake.net/recyclesday. Well, the Great American Cleanup is this weekend, September 18th and 19th, and while it might look a little bit different this year, it's still got the same goal: to keep Chesapeake beautiful. So small groups are encouraged to coordinate their own cleanups, whether that be in your own neighborhood or a local park. And the Parks, Recreation, and Tourism Department can help you out with supplies for your cleanup, and they can also help you find a location if you need help finding one. So sign up to get your supplies and support by visiting askhrgreen.org/Great American Cleanup. Just choose Chesapeake as your locality. While you're out there enjoying nature and cleaning it up, make sure you have your camera on you because you might just catch a prize-winning shot. The Parks, Recreation, and Tourism Department is looking for your best pictures highlighting the beauty and splendor of Chesapeake Parks. These photos will be in the 2021 Keep Chesapeake Beautiful calendar. Photographs of parks, rec centers, trails, waterways, it'll all be considered. And it doesn't have to be just pictures taken right now from summertime. Pictures from all seasons are encouraged. Each winning photographer will receive a $100 prize. Entries are due by September 18th. You can submit them online at cityofchesapeake.net/CEIC. And there's still time to nominate a beautiful business here in Chesapeake for the Business Beautification Awards. This award recognizes businesses in Chesapeake that take pride in the visual impression they leave on their neighborhood, as well as showing some awareness of the environment. Nominations are accepted through the end of the month. Get all the details and fill out a nomination form for your business or for somebody else's at cityofchesapeake.net/CEIC. Well, it's the final countdown for Census 2020. You have until the end of the month to make sure that you get counted in this survey of the decade. Why is it important? Well, it all goes back to the Constitution, where the census was set forth as a way to make sure that Congress continues to represent the populations of each state. So the way that it works, as was set forth in the Constitution, each state starts out with a minimum of 1 representative. And then the other 385 seats are divvied out according to population. But we need to know what that population is, hence the census. So we hope that everybody in Chesapeake will make sure that they get counted. It, of course, also determines federal funding that comes into our cities. So really, really important, and all the information is kept private and can't be shared with any other government agency, law enforcement, anybody. Strictly a head count. Take it online at my2020census.gov, or you can take it on the phone by calling 1-844-330-2020. And while we're talking Constitution, guess what? It's Constitution Week. This week comes along every year, and it's a great opportunity for us to celebrate that one document that truly started it all. Last year, we were able to celebrate in a really fun way. We pulled together some members of the Chesapeake chapter of the Daughters of American Revolution, the Youth Virginia Regiment, and special guest Nathan Richardson, who played Frederick Douglass and helped us read the preamble of the U.S. Constitution. So I will leave you with that piece here today. I hope you all have a great week. Stay healthy, and I'll see you here again next week.
We the people.
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 We the people of the United States,
in order to form a more perfect union,
establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility,
provide for the common defense,
promote the general welfare,
and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity.
to ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. Hurrah!
There's a new app in town. It's come to make your life easier when you need a service from the city of Chesapeake. Need a bulk trash pickup? Got you covered. Spot a pothole? Report it here. Neighbor's yard looking trashy? Help is on the way. The brand new Chesapeake Service Requests app is available now in the App Store and on Google Play. It's free and easy to both download and use. Add the app to your favorite device today so it's ready when you need it. And with so many services available, you're sure to need it soon. If you have questions about the app, you can call the Chesapeake Customer Contact Center at 382-CITY.